All right, here's how to make our pie drawings. We're going to start with a 12 by 18 sheet of white paper. We're going to trace 5 circles with a Sharpie. It's okay if they go off the paper a little bit. Alrighty, now it's time for a crust. So I'm going to go around 4 of my circles, making a wavy line. I don't want to do it on all 5. We want to leave one without a border so that we can use it as a plate later. And now we need to decide what kind of pies we want to make. If I want to make a pumpkin pie, I'm going to outline my circle in orange, and then I'm going to draw a little blob in the middle for where whipped cream is going to go. And then I'm going to go around and outline all of my crust with a brown marker. It's important to note that we are just outlining. We are not coloring in anything right now. All right, now that we've got our crust done, you want to go onto your plate. That's the circle we did not put a crust on. You want to draw a triangle with a curved top for our pie piece that we took out. And now I'm going to add another wavy line so it has a crust. Now that I've done that, I'm going to go into one of my pies and I'm going to draw a triangle. I want to make it look like I've taken a piece out of my pie. All right, now we need to go in and add the top crust. If your pie is going to have a lattice crust, we're going to use a brown marker to make vertical and horizontal lines for the top crust. If you want to make a pie that is completely covered in crust on the top, we're going to add just a few vent lines in the center and then outline our circle. Now I'm going in and making another lattice crust. That's the ones with the vertical and horizontal lines covering the top of my pie. Now I'm just going to go in and outline my pie slice. I took it out of my pie that was fully covered, so the top of this one just needs to be outlined brown. Now we need to pick a color for a plate. I chose blue, and you're just going to go ahead and outline that circle. And once that's done, we're going to go in and make a center circle so it shows different levels of our plate. Now we need to choose colors for our filling. Whatever flavored pie you choose, that will determine what color you use. If you want a blueberry pie, you might use blue. If you want a cherry pie or a strawberry pie or a rhubarb pie, you might choose red. The very last thing I'm going to do on my pies is just take a little gray marker and outline the triangle for the pie tin where I took my slice out. Now we need to choose what we want to do in our background. This will be the tablecloth that's sitting on the table underneath our pies. I chose just to do a little plaid design with a green marker by doing horizontal and vertical lines. You may choose whatever you like. Just keep in mind that it will blend together when we add the water to this. Now I'm going to need a water cup and a paintbrush, and I'm going to start outlining my marker lines. It's going to move the marker. We want to just fill in our shapes. I want to warn you to take your time with this step and not to use too much water, because otherwise it's going to get a little bit messy and everything's going to start blending together too much. Now, when you get to your lattice crust pies, it's probably best, I found, to start with your colors. So go in and just blend your blue or your red spots or whatever color you chose for your filling, And then after that, you're going to go in and you're going to go over the brown lines again. I found that works best because you can see at the top it got a little bit blended when I started doing my brown lines first. So start with your colors and then after that go in and go over your brown crust. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start by just going over my background. Now this is going to be our last step. I'm just going across the lines and spreading the color out. Now at the very end, after you spread all of your colors out, we can go back in with our markers and add back some of the smaller, the finer details that we may have lost when using the water. You can see I'm just going over my pie filling and my crust and my edges to make sure everything looks nice and neat again. Also, I will go over my background with a brown marker, just again making that plaid tablecloth that I did look a little bit neater. And there you go, now you've got a finished pie drawing.